Welcome to the True Haunt Lore. Let me start with the part nobody puts in the trailer. Sometimes the scariest thing is not what jumps out at you, it's what quietly moves in and never leaves. If you are new here, subscribe and turn on the notification bell to join the archive, because tonight's file is a documented account that refused to stay a story. In the winter of 1971, Roger and Carolyn Perron bought a 14-room farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. 200 acres, built in 1736. Enough space for their 5 girls, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and little April, to grow up loud, safe, and free. But even the handoff of the keys felt wrong. The previous owner did not smile. He did not give advice about the pipes or the roof. He looked Roger dead in the face and said one thing: for the sake of your family, leave the lights on at night. Not good luck, not welcome home, just survival instructions. They moved in anyway, and the first day, the house hit them with something simple and terrifyingly human being watched. Not a spooky vibe, not imagination. That prey instinct feeling, like eyes in the tall grass, except the grass was the hallway. At first, it was almost manageable. The girls reported a figure they later named Manny. A sorrowful man-shaped shadow that would stand in doorways and watch them play, solid enough to block light. And then if you stared back, gone. Manny felt like a warning, not the threat. Because the longer they stayed, the house stopped watching and started interacting. Whispers at night, not random creaks voices, conversations, old-fashioned tones that did not match the century they lived in. Cindy heard scraping inside the walls, steady, rhythmic, like something trying to work its way through plaster one fingernail at a time. Then came the smell. 1 minute, the kitchen would carry a soft floral scent, like someone set fresh bouquets down and walked away. And the next, a rotten, sulfur-heavy stench would flood the room so fast it made eyes water and stomachs turn, then vanish like it never happened. The house was not just haunted, it was breathing. When the parents started digging into local records and land history, the place got darker. Suicides in the attic, poison, drownings nearby, a child's death tied to the land. Men found frozen on the property even though the house was close enough to see. 8 generations of grief pressed into the soil. And over all of it, one name kept surfacing in the family's research: Bathsheba. A woman from the mid-19th century, linked to the area, tied to accusations so ugly the town never let go of them. Whether Bathsheba was truly present or something else used her name like a mask, the parents agreed on one thing: the energy that wore that name hated Carolyn. The attack centered on the mother jealous, territorial, personal. Carolyn woke up with bruises shaped like pinches. Perfect circles that looked placed, not accidental. Marks that appeared overnight. Scratches that did not match any rough edge in the house. And the home itself joined in. Doors slammed hard enough to rattle frames, then locked from the inside. Roger would secure the heavy basement door, watch the latch shift by itself, and see the door swing open into blackness. The cellar felt like the heart of it. Even in summer, it dropped cold, the kind of cold that steals your breath. Repairmen came in, went pale, and refused to stay alone down there. Upstairs, the girls learned a new bedtime routine. Do not look into the corners. Do not look under the bed. Covers up, eyes shut. And still, they described the same thing. a woman leaning over them, gray, dried face, neck bent at the wrong angle, whispering like the room belonged to her. "Get out! Get out! Or I will drive you out." And they were not alone in it. Friends stayed over and fled before morning. Relatives heard their names spoken into empty air. The family dog refused to enter at first, barking at nothing, and later was found lifeless outside, body untouched, expression frozen in pure fear. By 1974, the Perrons were out of options, so they called in Ed and Lorraine Warren. Not movie heroes, not shiny, polished saviors, just investigators with a reputation and a willingness to step into places other people would not. Lorraine walked into the farmhouse and reportedly went rigid, like the air itself had weight. She warned that it was not only human spirits, that something inhuman was mixed into the house. They attempted a seance, hoping to learn names, motives, boundaries. What happened next is one of the most disputed moments in this entire case file, but the family's testimony never wavered. Carolyn changed. Her body jerked like she was caught in invisible wires. Her voice dropped, harsh, unfamiliar. Words came out that no one recognized. Then she was thrown across the room as if the floor rejected her. Roger snapped. He demanded it stop. He pushed through the chaos to get to his wife, and when he believed the Warrens were making it worse, he threw them out, ordered them off the land, and the Perrons were alone again with something newly angered. So why did they stay? Because they were trapped by the most ordinary monster on earth: money. Every dollar was in that house. They could not sell it. They could not afford to run. They were a family held hostage by paperwork while the night worked on them. 1 hour at a time. One winter night, the heat faded again. Roger went into the basement to fix it. In the cold, he felt a touch on his back, like a hand. He turned, expecting Carolyn. Nobody was there. And then he saw an old farming sock lift off its hook, slow, deliberate, floating in front of him like it was being aimed. Then it launched. It slammed into a wooden beam beside his head, hard enough to bite deep close enough to make the message clear. This was not a creak in the night. This was intent. The Perrons finally left in 1980, moving far away. But distance does not erase a decade of living in a place that wanted you gone. The daughters grew up, but the habit stayed, double-checking locks, hesitating in dark doorways, going quiet when the wind sounds too familiar. And the farmhouse still stands. New owners, new visitors, new investigators chasing recordings in cold spots. The location became a destination. Like you can tour someone else's nightmare and leave it behind in the gift shop parking lot. But here is what the true haunt lore cannot ignore. Some land holds memory. Some houses do not just shelter you, they study you. And sometimes when you cross a threshold, you are not a homeowner at all. You are a tenant in a place already claimed. So tonight, when your lights are off and your home settles, listen carefully. Is that creak just wood and weather? Or is it footsteps, pacing, like something is still counting the rooms? Like the video, subscribe, and share your own documented encounters in the comments. And until the next file opens, sleep well, if you can. So, after all the terrifying events we just uncovered over the last 6 minutes, the dark history of Bathsheba Sherman, the Warrens' investigation, and the sheer terror the Perron family lived through, you have to wonder. What exactly is happening at the real-life Conjuring house today? Well, my personal take on the Arnold Estate right now is a complete contrast to what you might expect. Because unlike other famous haunted houses that try to hide from the public eye, this property did the exact opposite. It embraced the nightmare. If you drive out to that remote farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island today, you won't find a terrified family trying to survive the night. Instead, you'll find a booming business. The estate has changed hands a few times recently, selling for over $1 million, and it is now officially a dark tourism hotspot. You can literally go online right now and book a ghost tour, an overnight paranormal investigation, or even glamp on the property. Honestly, from my perspective, the atmosphere has completely shifted. The true isolating dread that made the Arnold Estate so terrifying in the 1970s is gone. Today, the property is constantly filled with tripods, spirit boxes, and content creators live streaming their every move to the world. Does the original dark energy still linger in those woods? Maybe. But it's hard not to feel like the real activity happening there now is mostly commercial. It makes you wonder, if the spirits really are still there, they're probably just exhausted from the endless parade of tourists. The Arnold Estate will always be ground zero for modern paranormal pop culture. But today, the real show isn't the ghosts, it's the ghost hunters. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next investigation.